Place your left hand on the Bible, raise your right hand. Do you solemnly swear or affirm to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God? Yes.
Please record, Your Honor.
Yes, sir.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Ernest Bennett for the state. This is State of South Carolina, County of Williamsburg versus Quavion A. Canty. Mr. Canty is represented by Attorney Steve Fowler. Because of negotiations with the state, we've agreed to dismiss 2 of the assault and battery counts. So he is pleading to 5 charges today. He's pleading to 1 count of assault and battery of high and aggravated nature, 2 counts of assault and battery first degree, possession of a weapon during a violent crime, and possession of a weapon by a convicted felon. We have negotiated a 5-year sentence, giving him credit for the 9.5 months that he has served pretrial detention. And we've asked the court to consider accepting the negotiated sentence, and also the victim who was actually shot, one of the 3 victims, was not able to come. His mother wanted to come, but she could not come because of employment. She had given the court a 2-page letter that I'd like the court to consider at the appropriate time.
Yes, sir. You've seen this as well, Mr. Fowler.
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay. Mr. Canty, I'm Judge Curtis. Sir, I understand that you're here today to plead guilty to 1 count of assault and battery of a high and aggravated nature. That carries up to 20 years. To 2 counts of assault and battery in the first degree, each of which carry up to 10 years. To 1 count of possession of a weapon during a violent crime, which carries up to 5 years. And 1 count of felon in possession of a firearm, which also carries up to 5 years. Is that your understanding? You've talked this over with your attorney, Mr. Fowler?
Yes, ma'am.
The crime of assault and battery of a high and aggravated nature is classified as a violent offense under South Carolina law. That is going to affect the percentage of the sentence that you actually serve. I believe it's an 85%. You're not eligible for parole on that offense. And are you aware of that?
Yes, ma'am.
It's also classified as a serious offense. That means it counts as 1 strike for purposes of our state's 3 strikes law. Once you have accumulated 3 strikes, the state can seek to have you in prison for life without the possibility of parole. And you understand that?
Yes, ma'am.
And you discussed that with Mr. Fowler as well.
Yes, ma'am.
You're only 22 years old, so that's a very important thing for you to understand, that this will count as 1 strike. And you know that. We talked about, none of these others are either violent or serious. We talked about, Mr. Canty, knowing all of your rights, sir, you plead guilty or not guilty to these offenses?
Yes.
Okay, if I can get the facts, please.
Yes, Your Honor, please. On July the 5th, 2022, in the Hemingway section of Williamsburg County, one 17-year-old was walking with friends between 11:30 and midnight that evening when they heard what they thought was fireworks, and then they felt something that changed. He didn't know if he had been hit by a firework or whatever. By the time he got home and saw his mom, he discovered he had been shot in the shoulder. 2 other young men that were with him were also scared and heard the shooting. Investigators came. They started investigating the case and looking for evidence. They found 15 fired shell casings from a firearm at the scene of the shooting. And it was determined through talking to witnesses that there was a lady witness who identified Mr. Canty as being the shooter of the firearm, identified another young man who was a co-defendant of Mr. Canty's as having handed the firearm to him. And as a result, both of those gentlemen were charged and arrested. The young man has recovered from his injuries. He's not gotten any permanent injuries. And the mother has been very upset with the whole system because it has been a very traumatic thing on her and her family as far as medical interruption in work. She couldn't get here today. She wanted to be here today, so she has submitted a statement. We think this is a fair resolution of the case, Your Honor, and we hope that you would support the negotiated sentence. Mr. Canty has had a good deal of trouble in his past with charges. Most of the charges on his record were null-pros for one reason or another, but he is unable to possess a firearm now because of a strong arm robbery conviction that he received in 2020, and got a youthful offender for that. So he was not eligible for a youthful offender. In light of the circumstances, we weren't offering youthful offender, but we do think that this should get his attention, and hopefully he'll find a way to straighten out his life.
Y'all give me just a sec to read over her statement to the board. That's true, sir. I'm sorry. Are those facts true? As you find that there is a sufficient factual basis for me to accept the plea, I find that you're entering the plea today freely and voluntarily, understanding your rights and with the advice of counsel, Mr. Fowler, very competent lawyer. You have 10 days from today's date if you wanted to appeal. That 10-day deadline is a hard and fast deadline. You go on the 11th day, you've lost that right forever, and no court can expand that 10 days. That appeal's got to be in writing both to this court and to the higher court. Mr. Fowler, I'm glad to hear from you, sir.
Your Honor, stands before you, Mr. Cansey. He's 22 years old. He's getting his GED in prison. Your Honor, he has had sufficient work as hotel houseman in Myrtle Beach. He's had some tragedies in his life, Your Honor, and my understanding is that his daughter died from complications with a heart issue after she was just hours old, Your Honor. When he does get out of prison, Your Honor, he is interested in going into landscape, construction, and road maintenance, Your Honor. He has a very strong family presence here today, Your Honor. My understanding is, and I've spoken with these persons, is his mother. She is here today, Your Honor, in the audience, and also is here, Your Honor. And she is the mother of his child. He is interested in getting back to his family, Your Honor. He has done really well in terms of talking with me about the issues, about this matter, Your Honor. It is a negotiated sentence, and we would ask the court to respectfully go along with that, Your Honor. And that's pretty much it. But I have really been impressed with him and his family and their interest in this case, and his communication with me has been extraordinary.
I'm fine to go along with the recommendation of 5 years. On each of these offenses, making these concurrent, giving time for
9.5 months of pretrial detention.
Mr. Canty, your attorney's done a great job for you. Came very close to ruining your life and ruining somebody else's life. You understand a murder charge is 30-year mandatory minimum day for day. So you're only 22, you're racking up charges at a really alarming rate. To yourself and others, the way that you're living, you're not going to live long on this earth living this lifestyle. I understand that. We see time and time again young people, gun violence. I know from some I can name off to you young men that charges pending, now they're dead before they can be prosecuted. Kill another young man. It's just a real alarming trend we've got going on. So you're 22. I've seen people go to prison and they're worse off when they get out than they were when they went in. I've seen people who decided they didn't want to live that way any longer and turned it around when they went to prison, came back out, took advantage of the things that they can offer you in prison, came out better. It's up to you. So I hope that you will choose to take advantage of the good things that they can offer you in the Department of Corrections and don't live the rest of your life the way you've been living in the last several years. Good luck to you.
This is Christian News TY. I'm Tony Conyers. If there are any newsworthy events in Williamsburg County, we will get them to you as soon as possible. If not, you can follow us on Christian News TY Facebook. You can follow us on YouTube, and you can follow us on our website.
Welcome. Today is Wednesday, June the 14th, and we are live with Christian News TY. We welcome you here, and we certainly welcome our newly elected Sheriff, Stephen Gardner. Thank you, Sheriff, for coming and being with us today and taking time out of your busy schedule. I know you're a busy man.
Hey, a lot going on, but thank you for coming in and taking time and allowing me to talk about the Sheriff's Office.
Well, thank you very much, and we're excited about this interview.
South Carolina House Representatives, District 101.
What a wonderful gathering, what a wonderful occasion. Carrie. Roger that, that's right, Roger that. Hey guys, I just wanted to bring greetings from the South Carolina House of Representatives to one of our newest attorneys, Ms. Carrie Singleton, Juris Doctor. That's very cool.
Welcome to Christian News TY. I'm Kathy Andrews here with Ed Anderson, better known as Tweety to the folks in King Street. We're going to talk to him about an event coming up, yes. Homecoming, King Street Homecoming.
Good afternoon, everyone. Good evening, I should say, probably. We're out today hanging another banner. We hung one on the southbound side of the walkway, so now we hang one on the northbound side. We want to make sure that we get everyone's attention and they're aware of the date.
Welcome to Christian News TY. I'm Lou Esther Brown. We're in the town of Sherrill, South Carolina, down at the PD River boat dock.
Good afternoon and welcome to Christian News TY. My name is April and today we're meeting with Mr. Leroy McAllister. Recently, Waynesburg County held its annual State of the County address.
Turn down the bass, push that button, and follow us. My name is T. Wah, 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 wah.